How many loads do you think we're gonna get hauled today?
Maybe 18.
18 loads? I don't know if you can hear me at all right now. It is so windy outside. I'm gonna go try to pick up some rocks. So if you don't remember rock picking from last year or the year before, we're looking for rocks that are big enough to damage the equipment when we're coming through here and doing tillage or doing the planting or any of the other in-season operations. All right, here's a rock that's bordering on not big enough to mess with, but I'm driving past it, so I'm gonna pick it up. Where'd it go? There it is. See, I almost lost track of it. There we are. And it's just that easy. This was probably the worst job in the world when I was a young boy. It was a lot of walking through the dirt, a lot of bending over and picking up super heavy rocks. Oh, here's an actual big one. You okay? I dropped you there. Look at that. Oh, there's another one right over here. Can you see it? It's kind of like looking for snakes in the wild. One thing I've found to be true though is once you find one rock, you're almost guaranteed to find some more in that same general vicinity. If I had to guess, I'd say that each of those rocks that we just picked up probably weighed between 60 and 80 pounds. Wonder who it was that screwed up and chisel plowed through the waterway over there. I don't think it was me. Was it me? Do you remember that? Maybe it was me. No, it wasn't me. I think it was Cole. Don't worry, Cole, I won't tell anybody, and by the middle of the summer the grass will grow up. You'll never know the difference. Isn't this machine great? Here's another. That was a pretty bad example of how to pick up a rock. I didn't get started correctly on that guy. There we go. Look at that, would you? I'm sure you can't really tell how big they are, but some of these are really big. I wear a size 10.5 boot, so that's a pretty big rock right there. Hey, I got some exciting news. I got a Snapchat from the wife. I gotta go home and see this thing that has happened. What do we have in here? Did you finally have your little calf? Brand new mama. Oh, this is fantastic. Morning. We're gonna try to do some chisel plowing. Maybe it's too wet, who knows? But let's see if it works. Ooh, that was close. Let's go give this a try. I kind of hope it works today. It'd be nice to get it out of the way. Now there's only about 25 acres left to do at this field. The reason we didn't just do that last fall was manure. They ran out of manure at the barn that they were pumping from, so that had to get finished this spring. They just got that done last week, and now I think it's finally dry enough to get in there and get the last of this chiseling done. I hope it works because it's supposed to rain Monday, Tuesday, I think, and then it's kind of supposed to start to straighten out. And it'd be nice to get a little rain on it before we go ahead and run that joker over it, kind of mellow it down a little bit, and then it should be in really good shape to get ready to plant. Okay, guidance on. I think we're ready to go. It looks like, I don't know, it might be too wet, but we're gonna find out here momentarily. Okay, we got our set about 6'3". We're chiseling. So I'm pretty impressed. I don't know how well you can see this, but this is the old chiseling line from last fall. And I didn't adjust the GPS at all. I just came in here and started on the next track, and it's perfect, almost. I don't know, why are we paying for a good signal when this free signal that we use on the tillage tractor is so good. Okay, it looks like we're doing a super good job from in here in the cab, but if I've learned anything over the years, I know you got to get outside and look. I thought it would be wetter than this. It's not super dry, but it's doing a really good job. I'm not leaving a bunch of clods on top. So here's something I find kind of interesting. Remember how earlier I was bragging that the GPS line was exactly where it needed to be from last fall? Well, I've been out here for almost 4 hours now, and I started over there, and then I went over and started along that side of the field, and now I'm closing the gap up. Look at this. It's off by probably 4 feet now. You can see a little strip that's not getting worked. Fortunately, I've got to end up down at that end of the field anyway, so I'll come back and finish that little 1 or 2 foot wide strip on the way back. But I just find it quite interesting that my line drifted 3 feet in a matter of 4 hours, but over the course of 5 months, 4 or 5 months, it didn't go anywhere. I don't know, strange. Anybody at John Deere know why this happened? Well, that's it right there. That's all that's left to do. We get down to the waterway and the whole field is done. Just finishing up the end rows right along the road ditch right now. Well, this definitely was not on my radar at all when I woke up this morning. I wasn't planning on being able to work ground, but I am super glad that it went as well as it did. All right, since you're riding along for free today, you gotta help film me, all right? Looks like it's our turn. So you see this orange card up here?
Yeah.
So I gotta get out, scan it, then type my information in.
Driving into my east bay, I'm only down to 1 probe. I need to back up.
So they are having some sort of trouble with the probe today. One of them is broken. I think the back one is working and the front one is broken. So everybody's having to center their trailers on that one probe, and a lot of guys are having trouble with it. You see that? 79,560 pounds. I got the trailer back to the shop. We're gonna try to get these lights working. I don't know what happened here, if it's gravel or whatever, but something damaged this light, and it's trying to work, but it's not really working. So it is such a tight fit to get this pulled through that you got to take the rubber grommet out and then it'll fit through. We'll work on troubleshooting why all the lights at the top of the back aren't working. All right. So that wire that goes up there is the one that supplies power to the back lights. I'm about to lose my patience. Timpty Manufacturing, I have a few ideas for you. So underneath the trailer, I found the wire that comes up to the back here where these lights aren't working. And I checked the last connector before that wire comes up and it had power. So I knew the problem was up top here because I could see the wire all the way up to where it goes through the grommet. So I got up here and pulled off one of the lights and noticed that this whole channel is just packed full of wet, disgusting gravel dust that's turned into mud. So I started trying to take this cover off the channel because I got to be able to flip that up. You can't even pull the connectors for the lights through these little holes in this cover. So I tried to take this screw off and I broke the tip off our best screwdriver. I'm really sad about this, really bummed out. I love this screwdriver. So I got a pair of vice grips and I was able to get this screw out with a pair of vice grips. But I've tried this screw, I've tried the rest of them on down the line, and I cannot get a bite on the screw with the vice grips. They just keep popping off. Don't really even know what to do next. So I think what I'm gonna do is put it back together and pretend like I didn't know it's not working for a few days at least until I can figure out how I'm gonna get this apart. I don't wanna cut the heads off the screws because I don't think I'll be able to get the rest of the screw out and then put things back together. Well, I got it apart. Would you like to know how I finally got it apart? 1/2-inch battery impact, reducer, 1/4-inch socket, Phillips head. Rather unorthodox, but it worked, and that's all that matters. So if I plug this light in here, check it out, it works. But if I plug this harness in here and then plug this light into the harness up top, it doesn't work. So this harness is bad somewhere. Now I should just get a new one, but I'm really tempted to see if there's any way I can pull some more of that through and then splice into it. You know what, that's not smart. I'm just gonna get a new one. Okay, I take back what I just said. I am going to Farmer Fix this today. Check this out. So I pulled a little more of this through. Look at right here. I'm gonna cut that section out, splice it together, put some heat shrink on it, and put her back together. I bet it's gonna work. I'm actually pretty impressed with my own work here. I tell you what, boys and girls, that is real nice. Well, I mean, it will be once I get it all put back together. My howdy, would you look at that? I'm just feeling super victorious right now. This is a lesson I have to learn over and over again, but when you get really mad when you're working on something, it's best just to step away for a little bit, come back to it half an hour or maybe even a day or two later. And 9 times out of 10, it almost just works itself out if you do that. It was an absolute joy having you tag along this week. I'm glad you were able to make it. I had a lot of fun. I hope you had some fun too. You have yourself a happy Easter. Thanks for hanging out this week. I'll see you next time.